to Kiki's Corner. I just realized you couldn't see me. Let's try. Hello and welcome welcome to Kiki's Corner. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to get good grades. So I know this is a highly requested video based on the polls on my Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, make sure to follow all of my social medias down below. They'll be right here. At least follow one of them. I know most of you guys watching this video right now have one of these social medias. So make sure to follow one of them if you have not already. I'll wait though, because I know, it'll take some time to follow them. So hold on. Let's just wait for those people. Guys, you're taking forever. But it's fine. It's fine. So this is my 10-step guide to getting good grades. So my hair will not cooperate right now, I know, but we'll just have to make do with it. So this is my 10-step guide to getting good grades. So the first step I have for you guys is step 1, getting organized. You need to stay organized. That right there is the key to getting good grades and doing well in school. These steps go in order of they go in a good order. They go in order of what you should do. So staying organized and other things that I'm not going to mention until later in the video. But step 1 is getting organized. So if you're not organized, then that's a problem already, right there. So me personally, I have an order of where my stuff goes in my backpack. So different things. So at the beginning of school, right before school started, I organized, when we got my school supplies, I organized all my stuff to where I wanted it to be in my backpack. And so that way, I'll know where everything is. I could just take it out and then just put it right back in my backpack when I'm done using it. So I feel that's a major key to being organized is your backpack, because in a lot of my classes, a lot of people are not organized, so then they lose stuff. So for example, my math class, a lot of people are not organized. So we have a stamp sheet and worksheet packets that we do. And when the people are not organized, then they end up losing their stamp sheet packets. Stamp sheet packets is not what I meant. Stamp sheets and worksheet packets, then it can't get stamped. So then therefore, they're going to get a bad grade in learning behaviors and just a bad grade overall. And most likely, if they can't find it at school, then they probably lost it at home, so they probably didn't even do it anyway, at home. So that right there is really important and a major factor in if you get good grades, because most likely if you're not organized, you probably do not get the best grades in school. If you do, I don't know how you pull it off, because if I wasn't organized, yeah, I would not be able to get good grades, because I would just be losing everything. It would just not. The next step is step number 2, and that is to have a planner. So I know a lot of people do not like writing in planners, and it's just a burden. But it's actually a good idea to have planners, because especially if you're in AP classes, because there are more things due faster, you go way faster. So you can just have so the next step is step number 2, and that's to have a planner. So I know writing in planners is probably a burden for a lot of people, but they're actually really good, because you can write down all your stuff, and you don't have to just remember it off the top of your head, because a lot of times I do not remember, oh yeah, this is due, unless like I'm really paying attention. Like my brain capacity has to have like a lot of space, because by the end of the day my brain capacity is like very full. So I don't have a lot of space in my brain to remember, oh, I had this due this date. So then that allows you to write it down before you forget, and then you can just look in your planner and be like, okay, do I have an assignment? Do I have a project due, like anything like that? And that kind of goes with being organized, but also with like time management and taking the initiative to be able to write in your planner and then like actually use it, because a lot of people write in their planners but they don't really use them. Like they just write in because either their parents or like the teacher's making them, and then they just put it in their backpack and they're just like whatever. And I mean, I know a lot of people have a planner, but I mean to have a planner and actually use it. That's what I mean. So that is the second step. The third step is to take good notes. And now I know a lot of people hate taking notes, and so you guys are probably like, oh, that of course has to be on this guide to getting good grades. But yeah, unfortunately it does. Unfortunately, taking notes is a part of school, and it really helps with getting good grades. So this really applies like for me in social studies, because I'm in pre-AP social studies, and we have to take a lot of notes. But however, when we take tests, I'm better prepared for them because we did take those notes, and even though I don't like to take notes, I'm still better prepared for like the tests and stuff, and I'm more likely to do better because of taking the notes, instead of, oh yeah, like trying to assume or like trying to cram everything like the night before the test. I can just have those notes to look back on, and it still is not going to help if you take notes but you don't really take good notes. So if you just say, like, for example, let's say you have to do a report on dogs and you have to take notes before you can actually write the paper, and you just say there are many different types of dog breeds. I mean, that's not good notes. You're just stating a fact, but that's not adding detail to your paper, and that's not going to help you. So I would highly recommend, if you're going to take notes, you already have to take them, so why not make them good notes? Okay, my fourth step is to ask for help. So when you need help, ask for it. So if you don't understand something, then you should ask your teacher, or even ask people, like just other people in general. So asking for help, like a lot of people don't like to do that, especially in front of like entire classes. I don't like to ask for help like in front of entire classes, but however, you can do it. Like you can just like go up to the teacher and be like, oh yeah, hey, is there like a time, like can you explain this to me, or like this, because I don't understand this, like something like that, if you don't want to ask in front of the whole class. But if you ask in front of the whole class, that's fine too, because most likely people will have the same questions, but they just don't, they're like afraid to ask in front of the whole class, but they most likely have the same questions. So not only are you getting your questions answered, you're also getting other people's questions answered, so you're also helping other people, and maybe other people will feel more comfortable asking for help in front of other people, because they know that their other classmates and other students also need help. Step 5, so we're halfway through the 10-step guide to getting good grades. So step 5 is do homework right after school. Now I know a lot of people have like things they have to do after school, like extracurriculars and stuff. So if you do, then this doesn't apply to you, but the people that just do their homework at nighttime, or even in the morning, like the next morning when they have to go to school again, that's the people I'm talking about. Like, because I know if you have extracurriculars, you can't really help that you don't do your homework right after school. But I mean the people that just sit there because they don't want to do their homework after school for no reason, like they have nothing to do I'm talking about those people. So, first of all, there are actually a few reasons why it's better to do your homework right after school instead of the morning after or the nighttime. And one of the reasons, like the first reason, is because things are probably still fresh in your brain because your brain capacity is fuller, and like you probably still have like the stuff that you learned in school in your mind, so you can freshly do your homework. Whereas if you do it in the nighttime, or you wait till the next morning when you have school again, in the nighttime, you've probably been playing video games or like going on social media, so then your brain probably isn't thinking about like school related things, so then it'll probably be harder for you to do your homework. And then the next morning, your brain is just waking up, so you're less likely to get things correct because your brain is just waking up. So like it's still it's not functioning as it should, like when you get home from school, if that makes sense. Now, another reason is that you want to get it over with. You know, like I do my homework right after school, and unless I had like an extracurricular, then that'd be different, but I wouldn't just want to be sitting home knowing that I could be doing my homework right now, but then I still have to do my homework, and I wouldn't want to know, oh yeah, I still have to do my homework, or I might forget, and then it won't be done, and then if there's something due, then I wouldn't have done it, and then I'd have to either cram it in the morning, or I might forget altogether. I might forget in the morning, but I wouldn't want to have to dread the rest of the night and be like, oh, I still have to do my homework. So that's why I just like getting it over with. Step number 6 is you should study in comfortable places. Now what this means is that let me give you a comparison, or an analogy. So you want to study in a library, not a classroom. You want to study in your room, not the living room. So what I mean by that is you don't want to study in loud places. Most likely, if you're doing your homework in a library, because in libraries it's not supposed to be super loud, so it's most likely going to be quiet, and then you'll be able to get work done. Whereas a classroom, unless the teacher tells you, okay, you guys have to be quiet, it's most likely not going to be quiet in a classroom, and a lot of people are going to be talking. Even if they give you time to do your homework, I was trying to do my homework, and I couldn't because I was distracted by talking, and it's just that just doesn't work. Now, if you study in your room, unless you're staying with a friend, and even then you're still studying, it's not going to be as loud as the living room, because the living room is where your parents or your siblings or whoever is, they're usually in the living room. So they will be talking. They're not going to be oh, okay, we need to quiet down because, they're doing their homework or, anything like that. So I feel you should study in a comfortable place, so AKA quiet places. So not loud places. Because I'm sure this happens to a lot of people. A lot of people probably cannot concentrate when other people are talking, because then they get engaged with the conversation, and then they want to talk as well. They want to talk because they get interested in the conversation. So you shouldn't be in a place where people are talking. Me personally, I'm going to use social studies as an example, and then I'll use math as an example. But social studies, I refer back to my notes, and if you go to my school, you know what we do for social studies, but I refer back to my notes, and I look at my vocabulary, my vocab words, and I look at them and decide which ones I want to use. And I don't look at textbooks, because personally for me, textbooks don't help me. Some people are more visual, some people are more they need to write stuff down, so notes. But personally, like, textbooks and like visuals don't really help me that much. So that is what I do for social studies. So for math, I do practice problems like the day before the quiz. Like if we have like a math quiz or a math test, I do practice problems. I refer back to like the work that we've done the whole unit. And basically, so I don't like visuals in social studies, but I like to use visuals in math because like they're problems, so you have to write them out and stuff. So more of like, I'm more of like referring back to things person instead of like visual like textbooks and stuff. So in like both of those two subjects, and even language arts, I do kind of the same thing. Like in social studies, I'm more of like, I like to refer back to books and things like that. So I like to refer back to things, but whatever helps you. So if you know that textbooks do not help you, and you know that you don't get the best grades in a class, like if you look at textbooks, so let's say social studies or language arts, if you just look in textbooks, you don't, or like books in general, you don't get good grades, then you might need to like figure out what type of studying style is for you. Water check. Step number 8 is to get help from others. So now when I say other people, I'm saying specifically others because I'm talking about other people besides teachers. It could be a student or like another classmate, a friend, or like a parent. Like any person like that is like considered an other besides a teacher. So you can like, with your friends, if you need help on something, you could just be like, oh yeah, like so and so, like we're doing this like in this class. Number 9. Oh my goodness, this one right here is like a very obvious one. Do not plagiarize. You guys should have expected this already. Don't plagiarize. Don't plagiarize. Don't plagiarize. Plagiarizing is very bad. Even if you're in elementary school, you won't get like, you'll get in trouble for it, but you're not going to get in as big trouble even as you would in middle school, high school, college. Like you could be kicked out of the college. Like it's that serious. Like don't plagiarize, people. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to sound like your mom or dad, but I would just recommend not plagiarizing. In elementary school, you might not be taught to not really plagiarize until like maybe 4th or 5th grade, but it's a thing. So what I would recommend is that goes back to taking good notes. So if you're doing quotes, that's totally different because you're quoting. But if you're actually doing a paper where you have to write like your own words and everything, then that's when I'm mostly talking about like plagiarizing, is like that, like when you're writing like an essay or something like that, that's what I'm talking about. But when you take good notes, it doesn't necessarily have to be quotes. It's not necessarily going to be quotes when you take notes. A lot of the times it's actually in your own words. It's not like full sentences, but you just like write stuff down. The last step number 10 is get to class on time. This is another one that's just like, oh my goodness, like I don't understand. Oh my gosh. Okay. Get to class on time. Why? It is not that hard. It really is not that hard. It's not. I'm a good student. So I get to class on time. When you don't get to class on time, there's like actually a few reasons why it's good to get to class on time. Number 1, because you don't want a bunch of tardies like on your report card and stuff. That just doesn't look good at all. I like aesthetically pleasing stuff, so anyways, but besides that, reason number 2 is that when you don't get to class on time, I mean, if it's just like every once in a while. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, if you like once or twice have never gone to class on time, like that's just terrible. What I'm saying is like when you when people repetitively, I cannot talk, repetitively are like being tardy to class. And this especially applies in middle and high school. I don't really know about college because I'm not there yet, but I know high school, I'm not there yet either, but I know you do switch classes and stuff. So middle school and high school is most of the time like when people like start skipping classes and even just like not getting to class on time. So I would just recommend getting to class on time. And if you're super late, you might miss, and not even super late, like you might miss what the teacher says, so you won't know what you're doing for the class period. And if you are super late, then you'll miss the material and then you'll be behind. And that is like the ultimate way to not get good grades. Hey guys, so that is the end of the video. My 10-step guide to getting good grades. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this also helps a lot of people to get good grades and to not slack off. And I know it seems like a lot, but in the end you'll be happy with your results and you'll get good grades and you won't be as stressed out. Getting good grades also leads to positivity and not being as stressed out, and you can just handle more things. It's amazing. I love getting good grades. Yeah, it might be a lot of work, but in the end, it's worth it. Seeing a very good grade in the Power School or like on the report card, whatever. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now, without further ado. Also, before I end the video, I'm again going to put my social medias right down here, right now, before we end the video, and they'll also be in my outro, so make sure to go look at my outro to see my social medias if you didn't catch it the first 2 times. But yeah, they'll be right down here. I think you guys have done it already, so without further ado, now, actually, for real. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye for now from Kiki's Corner. Bye, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, night, year, week, month, whatever. But bye from Kiki.